What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you come in and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on Lamar Jackson and how he looks this season. Right, to me, Lamar Jackson don't look like his same. I wouldn't go as far as to say like Lamar Jackson has lost a step, but he just don't look the same as he did in past seasons, right? The Ravens right now their record is 6 wins and 5 losses. Lamar, I think he's been back like the last 2 games, and I don't know. I think because their schedule is kind of light right now, right? But when the schedule gets tough, I'm not sure if the Ravens and Lamar Jackson gonna have enough to go deep into the playoffs. And I was listening to Jason Whitlock, and he had his guest on, this guy Shawn King. Shawn King played in the NFL for a few years. I think he played with he played with New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that I know of. He might have played, and he had a couple more stops. I'm not sure. But Shawn King said some things that I thought were interesting about Lamar Jackson. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the audio of what Shawn King said, because I think he made some good points. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to give my input.
Lamar Jackson is struggling, Shawn. Is this injuries or is this a athletic run first quarterback who's played 8 years and now he's going to start backing up because after 8 years it's finally too much.
I think because of his track record of success, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. If this persists into next year, I think we can circle back around to this topic. But a guy that's won 2 of the last 3 MVPs, I think, probably should have had 3 in a row last year. Statistically, that was his best year to year, finished second to Josh Allen. He's been injured. He missed games, came back, looks unwilling to use his athleticism, which makes me think that he's trying to guard against further injuring whatever his ailment is. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But we'll circle back around this time next year if the decline hasn't adjusted back to the norm.
Trevor Lawrence.
All right, so now also the thing about Lamar Jackson, Lamar Jackson has been in the league for 8 years, and like I said, he got a lot of miles on him. And I don't know if Lamar Jackson, if Lamar Jackson is going to get better at this point. Like, it's basically Lamar is, he is what it is what it is as far as Lamar Jackson is concerned. So I don't know, man. If he is playing injured, then that might not be, you don't want to see people hurt, but that might not be a bad thing, because anytime Lamar Jackson have that he can't see anything downfield, the first thing he want to do is just take off and run, right? And that, in my opinion, that is what's causing him to get hurt. He taking all these hits and all this other stuff that those beatings that has affected his game. So I'm hoping that this evening against the Cincinnati Bengals, that Lamar Jackson is able to like get into a rhythm and look a lot better than what he's looked in the past. Because if Lamar Jackson can't play any better than he has played in the past, then I think that it's going to be hard for the Ravens to go, very deep in the playoffs, man. And it's not like they in the AFC North. The Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion, don't really look all that good, because you have what's the quarterback? Aaron Rodgers is banged up. I'm not sure when Joe Burrows is coming back. I think he might be coming back this evening against the Ravens. I'm not sure, but yeah, man, I just want to see. Lamar Jackson be able to get over that hump, get deep into the playoffs, and possibly win a Super Bowl. And then on top of that, like the defense to me for the Ravens has been suspect. I know people said, their defense looked good, but I always been suspect on their defense, man, because they are inconsistent. They pride themselves on not being, being able to stop the run, which that's not entirely true. I've seen people like, just run it down their throats. And then on top of that, you can always throw on them because their cornerbacks, in my opinion, are just average, just average cornerbacks. So the Ravens defense is not elite anywhere. Any of their players on defense are not elite. And so you just gotta hope that the Ravens offensively, man, can carry the bulk of the load. And with Lamar Jackson being in his 8th year, looking like he's injured to a lot of people. That's why I played this clip, man, because Shawn King said it. Lamar just looked like he's injured. He looked like he's playing playing hurt, and he's trying not to injure himself any further. Now, I agree that if it'll come out whether he's really injured or not, probably by the end of the season or so. I hope he's not, because and then that's been a thing too. Like people, he always been getting hurt. And so I don't know if he's trying to avoid injury by not running the ball, or if he's already injured and don't want to injure himself anymore. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just think that the style of play that Lamar has, you take a lot of a beating. And this would have been a good year for the Ravens to make a run at it, right? Because Kansas City don't really look like they don't look like they usually look. So let me see. I think that the Buffalo Bills are very beatable. If Lamar was up to, if he was back up to his old self, I think Buffalo looks like they're very beatable. And only team I think that's really consistently winning that really look good, in my opinion, look like they looked last year is the Philadelphia Eagles. But you wouldn't have to worry about the Eagles in the playoffs. If you're the Ravens, you just have to worry about them, potentially meeting them in the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping that Lamar is not hurt. I'm hoping that he looks better, like I said, this evening against the Cincinnati Bengals. And then if he do, man, that'll be pretty good, man. The Ravens can, to keep that train moving. But that AFC North this year it don't look good at all, man. You got Cleveland Browns don't look good. The Steelers and the Ravens are kind of like inconsistent. Neither team really has an identity. Then you got Cincinnati, who's hurt. They don't really have an identity either. It just seems like they trying to hold on until Joe Burrows get back. And so, that's basically it for them. But yeah, man, I hope that Lamar Jackson just can right their ship, because the window is closing, in my opinion, for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore, especially Lamar Jackson. Like, he's been in 8 years, and so the window is closing. That's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.